The next series of movements are done either sitting on a chair or standing. If you're sitting on a chair, it's important to spend some time establishing the correct posture, as this will affect your experience of the movements and their benefit. Firstly, choosing a firm chair, something like a dining room chair, that will be able to provide you with a stable base. If you have a reasonably strong back, then I would suggest you do the movement sitting forward on the chair, so that the spine is able to follow its natural curves without restriction. The most important aspect of establishing your sitting posture is to spend time adjusting the angle of your pelvis so it is balanced and upright. Many of us have a tendency to slouch when sitting on a chair, which rounds the back and puts strain on the neck, or we may overarch the back, tipping the pelvis forwards. The ideal posture is having the pelvis in what we call a neutral position. This means that most of your weight will be going down through the sitting bones deep in the buttocks or through the bottom of the pelvis. If you position your pelvis in neutral, then the spine is able to quite naturally rise up, working with the forces of gravity rather than straining against them. If you have a weak back, then by all means place a cushion behind you to offer support, but do so in a way that will allow the pelvis to stay in neutral. Try to avoid leaning back on the chair with your spine in a rounded or slouched position. It's also important that you have your feet resting on the floor without strain. If your legs can't easily reach the floor whilst keeping the pelvis erect, then place some cushions or blocks under the feet. If you're standing, have your feet hip-width apart with the knees soft, and once again try to have the pelvis in neutral so the spine can rise up following its natural curves. In all the movements, spend time at the start resting awareness on the natural breath as it flows into and out of the body, with the face, shoulders, hands and belly soft.